That's what she said. Calm, cold, like she was telling me the weather. Then she smiled, that plastic, polite smile people give to strangers. Just for special people, she added. Special people, and I wasn't one of them. Like, comment, and subscribe Huna Stories for more stories. I remember standing in my kitchen, phone in hand, watching the kettle scream. I didn't hear it, didn't even blink. My son, my only child, had just married the woman I had treated like my own daughter, and they hadn't even invited me. A week later, she called again. This time, her tone was different. "The rent's overdue, Mama," she said sweetly. "Did you transfer it?" That's when I smiled. "Didn't I tell you?" I said quietly. "I don't pay for what doesn't belong to me anymore." She laughed nervously. She didn't understand what I meant. Not yet. When I first met her, she was trembling in the rain outside our gate, a girl my son had brought home from college. Eyes soft, voice gentle, every bit the image of innocence. I gave her my umbrella, she gave me gratitude. She'd stay for dinners, help me clean up, call me mama long before she had the right to. I liked her. No, I trusted her. My son loved her deeply, and that was enough for me. When they moved in together, I helped them set up the apartment, paid the deposit, bought the furniture, even set up a joint account so she'd never feel unsafe. Foolish, wasn't it? But trust always feels noble until it turns into regret. The first sign came in whispers. Her tone changed. She stopped visiting. My son stopped calling. When I did see them, they sat apart like two actors pretending to love. Then I noticed the withdrawals, small at first, then larger. The rent money, the savings, even my fixed deposit gone. When I asked my son, he said she was handling everything. "She's good with numbers, Ma, don't worry." I didn't, not right away. But one evening I went to their apartment unannounced. The door was slightly open. I heard her voice, low, sharp, cruel. "She's so gullible," she said. "That old woman still thinks we'll move back in with her one day." Then laughter. My son's voice, faint and hesitant, but laughter all the same. That was the moment something in me went still. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I simply turned and walked away. Pain teaches you what love never could. Silence. I became quiet, observant, calculating. I knew what I had to do. The joint account, I closed it. The lease apartment under my name, I canceled it. The utilities, the internet, the insurance, all traced back to my credit. Every thread they lived on was woven from me, and one by one I began to pull them out, but not too quickly. No, that would be mercy. It had to unravel slowly, like a silk thread burning under a match. I transferred my money, sold the land I'd promised my son, quietly changed my will. Then I let the silence stretch for weeks until the day she called, demanding the rent. They had moved to a new apartment, her name on everything, his credit ruined by joint purchases he never approved. She had isolated him, just like she'd planned. I could have stopped it, but I didn't. Instead, I let her tighten her own noose. I pretended confusion when the landlord called, told him I was unaware of the new lease. He was furious, rightfully so. 2 days later, they received a notice, eviction for non-payment. My son came to me, voice trembling. "Ma, please, we just need a little time." I looked at him, the same boy who once clung to my sorry when he was scared of thunder. Now he stood beside the woman who had carved my heart hollow. "I told you both," I said gently. "I don't pay for what doesn't belong to me." He didn't understand then that I wasn't talking about the rent. I was talking about loyalty, about love. A month later, I saw her again at the bank. She was arguing with the teller, her face pale, eyes sharp with panic. I stood a few steps behind her, unseen, listening. Their accounts were frozen. Her credit cards declined. The joint assets she thought she controlled were in my name, all locked, all redirected. She turned and our eyes met. "Mama, what did you do?" she whispered. I smiled, the same soft, polite smile she'd once given me. "I just took back what was mine," I said. Her lips trembled. "You ruined us." I tilted my head. "No, dear,
You did that the day you called me special people and left me out of my son's life. Then I turned and walked away. A week later, my son showed up alone. No ring, no wife, no words. He didn't apologize, not directly, but the silence between us said enough. He sat beside me on the porch, eyes distant. "She's gone," he murmured. I handed him tea. "Good," I said softly. He looked at me then, really looked at me, and maybe for the first time saw me not as his mother, but as a woman who had learned to survive betrayal with a grace sharper than vengeance. That night, I slept without dreams. Revenge doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it's a simple refusal, a quiet no. Like, comment, and subscribe Huna Stories for more stories.